Hey everybody, Terrio here. Today we're talking about bending. No, that's a fake beat bender, but I'm going to show you how to slip and slide around the neck, get all the good juicy notes and make the hair on your arms stand up, the whole and half and everything in between. Stay tuned. Right, Shane Terrio back at you. Thank you for joining me today. Sorry, I've been a little lapse on my post. I've been working whirlwind trip this week to New York. I did a Daryl's House episode taping, and I had a couple of recording things going on. So sometimes YouTube takes a back seat, but I do surely appreciate your support. Give me a like, subscribe. Doesn't cost you a thing, and it really helps the channel. Keeps me motivated to keep making these things. I really appreciate it. So today we're going to talk about bending notes. Now, I know everybody knows how to bend notes, but I thought maybe I'd share a couple little tips. And that little intro thing I was doing was just a little freeform riff that I used as a template to bend notes galore. That is a half step bend, our old friend that we use a lot. I use a lot. And what I did with it there was just bend up a half step into the major third. It's a good little trick to know. So in this, I'm in the key of A, and I'm just playing an open A string, fifth string open, and I'm playing the D, 7th fret, 3rd string with my ring finger. Very Hell's Bells sounding. But and then I go down to the 5th fret and I bend up a half step, and you get that glorious major part of a major chord. So I love to bend half step notes. I love to bend low notes. I like to bend into notes. And these are some of the approaches I use when I bend notes. Let's look at the obvious ones. If you're an A and you're A minor pentatonic, everybody and their brother knows, you can bend the 8th fret, 2nd string, the G up to an A. Let me talk about this real quick. Let me do a little side note. So when you're bending, if you're a beginner or maybe even an intermediate, you're having some trouble getting things in tune or maybe vibrato or things like that. One tip I could give you is, say the target note I'm bending is that the 8th fret. It's hard. It slows me down to even call out tap. 8th fret, 2nd string, the G. I'm using my ring finger. You should use the finger in front of your bending finger as an anchor. It's going to make it a lot easier to get vibrato, whatever kind you want, to bend the note, to pitch, to hold it there. But it's not always the case. Players like, Todd Rundgren, who I've worked with a lot over the last few years, Todd just uses no anchors. I'm not sure quite how he does it, but he said whatever Eric Clapton did, that's what he did. He told me that one day because I was like, how are you bending those notes? Of course, he uses lighter gauge strings. I digress. That's one little tip. You can bend the 7th fret, 3rd string. That's another classic. You can bend the 8th fret, 1st string. Those are some common ones. Less common is to go lower, like Jeff Beck did, where you go. Now what I'm doing there is that's A, our root. I bend that up a whole step. Then you play the note on the 7th fret. You could do that. You could go down here with your ring finger and bend it. So when you're playing that riff, it's a nice sound, you know. Do the same thing here. You can slide down 5th and 3rd frets and maneuver all kinds of things. That's your minor 3rd, major 3rd, 4th. Root note. You can bend that root note. So those are some obvious notes you can bend. Not as obvious on the lower notes. Let's talk about another thing. I like to call these Ernies. Ernies. That's kind of emulating a B bender. Keith Richards, Ron Wood made that famous. So if you're in G, you can go up to the 15th fret, 2nd string, bend that note up and play the G with your pinky on the 15th fret, 1st string. There's a bunch of them like that. Some of the 80s guys, like Warren DeMartini, check out my interview with Warren if you have it on my podcast, Riff, Raff. I did it a while back. And George Lynch. These guys, I love the way they bent and stuff because they had really precise bends and they would utilize the major 3rd a lot. So Warren might do something like this. He'd bend the in D. It's a sus to a major 3rd. So like for Mixolydian, that sound, let's go down to G, you could maneuver the 3rd and the 3rds are found here. 4th fret, 3rd string. So you'd bend a half step. And then 2nd fret, 5th string, you'd bend a half step. Bend into that flat 7, 5th fret, 2nd string. One thing I like to do, like if I'm in A, is to bend, what would that be? 10th fret, 3rd string, the F. Yeah, I guess that'd be the flat 6. Half steps. I love bending me some 3rds, man. It's fun. And one of the riffs I had with my band Lake Combo, I posted it a couple weeks ago, called, what is that called? Ball and Chain. The riff is bending a 3rd. It gives you a lot of attitude, you know, if you get them in tune, it really works well with a distorted amp. I'm just playing through my Soldano right now on the Crunch channel, and it's just a lot of goodness with these kind of licks, you know. I'll just talk about another kind of bend real quick. More than a half step away, and it gives you this sort of exotic sound. Marty Freidman would do things like this, where he would, if we're in E, and he had a lick like this, half step, he would bend it from a whole step below, out of the key of the song. So it's essentially this. That's a really cool way to get some different sounds. So like if I'm in A, this, he might do it like this. This. Just slipping and sliding different ways. I hope you got something out of that, folks. Give me a like, subscribe, hit the old button. Just takes a second, and I'll be back soon with some more things to talk about. I love your comments and everybody for reaching out, and there'll be a lot more to come. Stay tuned. T-Row out.